Hello everyone, this is Farman Ahmad and I hope everyone is doing fine under these tough circumstances that we are fighting the pandemic, the COVID-19, and I hope everyone is playing a vital key and being responsible as reasonable and rational citizens to take the measures that are needed for our safety and to be considerate of others living around us. Today we're going to talk about my presentation, which is about friends. My interpersonal communication class requires me to do research on one of the films that my instructor suggested. And all of those I chose Friends because it's one of those I know well and I've seen and I've lived my life with it and I quite understand it well. So my relationship with Friends dates back to years when I would live in a country in Southeastern Asia called Pakistan. Although I didn't understand the language and I was very young, but I kept watching the serial because I really liked their humor, their body language, and I had a perception of myself that how things will go if I don't understand any of the words, but I still keep watching this. Eventually, I got to learn some English and moved to the United States in 2016, and this helped me to have a glimpse of the Friends show. I bought an account through Netflix and started my membership there and kept watching this straight 10 seasons and they were awesome. Now, with having a bit knowledge of English and understanding, you really have a different vision insight to what has really happened throughout the seasons of this great sitcom, the legendary sitcom I would call, and I've seen it in many different ways. It has been through thick and thin, through bad situations, through good and all. It has been a great experience since the beginning of the show to end, and I'm really hopeful that one day they are going to do the reunion because people are really looking forward to, and they have confirmed that all the 6 celebrities have confirmed that they are doing their reunion, which is very good. And at the meantime, it's really persuasive for the fans that are expecting this great sitcom to be aired on television once again. So, in my research paper, I divided Friends into the 4 sections, which are nonverbal communication, language perception, and relationships, and we're going to study them under these 4 terms. First, nonverbal communication. If you watch the sitcom, you will really get to understand that it's obvious that nonverbal communication speaks more than what words can do and can express, especially when it was about those specific scenes that Ross had to face Rachel, where she is just about to announce the news of her pregnancy, which comes to Ross' shock because they used the safety, but it did not work. I believe it was expired, and this this caused Emma to be buried, and a very talented character, Little Baby, did a great job surprising everyone with her great art, and it was totally understandable of her from her age. If you see a 2-year-old girl doing such awesome job, or I believe 1 year and 6 months, it's a great job for them. And we came to this understanding that nonverbal communication is much better than the words, because words are limited. Sometimes you don't get the words that you want to express on the tip of your tongue. So sometimes in order to define your emotions, expressions, you will have a facial expression, and that helps a lot and that defines a lot. So as soon as Rachel lets Ross know about the pregnancy news, he is uttered in shock and he can't believe it, and this is what you can get from his face, that yeah, man is in absolute shock, in a state of shock, and he doesn't understand what's going on. Besides using this safety, it did not work, and this comes to his shock. Next, we're going to talk about language. In today's world, a person should be more literal and articulate if planning on more gains in this material world. it used to be quite professional back in 1970s and 80s when there was limited use of websites and internet, but nowadays everybody believes that things have really changed, and this has caused people to become a bit lazy, which is understandable of the current circumstances that we are living. And it can be changed, it can be shift to a better direction where things can look different than what we actually expect. So yeah, when we are doing something that depends and relies on the language that we use, it really leaves a great impression on the person that we are addressing. And the same has happened with friends too, especially that part where language plays a vital part. From the time that Monica and Chandler wants to adopt a baby, but things don't go right for them because the recommendation letter is written by Joey, and Joey uses thesaurus to swap the words with the words to make them articulate and smart, which eventually does not prove to be so. And this could have cost them losing the chance of adopting the baby, but the women behind this decision really thought that this letter was written by a kid, and she liked it quite well, because she believes that, yeah, this was a great job done by a kid, not knowing that this letter was written by the 20-year-old guy named Joey. The third term that we're going to talk about is self-perception and imposing it to others. We did realize that Ben kind of gets interested in playing with Barbie dolls, and this is what Ross doesn't like, because he's already offended from his divorce with wife, and then his wife turning into lesbian later on. It really adds on to the experience that he can't get away with feminism, and he believes in masculinity, and he doesn't want Ben to have any kind of any thought about a Barbie doll, and he wants to convert his mind into playing one of those Marvel characters, or fighting something, so that the masculinity is retained, and he wants his kid to follow his own path and direction. That's why he tries to impose his self-perception to Ben, which is misleading, and a kid should not be approached in such a manner where he has to choose between feminism and masculinity. The fourth thing that we are talking about is about relationship. The relationship throughout the entire seasons have been magnificent between these 6 characters, and how they have kept everything so perfect, so nice, that ever since the series began in 1994 throughout 2004, it all kept the same way, the same manner, and there was no declining level in sarcasm throughout the series. And we can say that friendship, besides having fun, can be competitive at times too, especially if you look at the episode where they were trying to play football. It was a nice evening, their Thanksgiving meal was being prepared at home, and they just wanted to have a glimpse of a football play for some time to drag off their minds out of their worries or tensions. But it was proven to last for some more time, and it lasted for hours, because they became so competitive, and they wanted to fight, and they wanted to win the match eventually. But due to the row between all those 6 friends, the football game ended without a result. And here we can find out that friendship comes with responsibility. If you expect to have fun, you should be expecting to have responsibilities too, and how you react at those tough times, being competitive with others, and not trying to hurt anyone, but gaining what you want, is really what relationship focuses on in a friendship. So here is my list of references where I got my information from, and I would like to thank everybody for paying their time and listening to me. It was such a nice meeting you after a long time, and I hope everyone is doing fine, doing great. Just keep the momentum, keep the stress away, and we are all together in this fight. We will fight this pandemic, and eventually we are gonna succeed. Thank you so much.